Welcome to this explainer. If you've been feeling like the year is just slipping right through your fingers, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're diving into the really fascinating concepts behind the mid-year mastery of radical prioritization. We're going to explore exactly how we can all regain our momentum halfway through the calendar year. It's a time when, let's face it, a lot of us just start to drift. But by understanding the nuts and bolts of how we choose our goals, we can actually turn this midpoint into a massive launch pad. Let's get into it.
So I want you to be totally honest with yourself for a second. Are you feeling the friction and burnout of the mid-year? I mean, think back to January. Remember the high energy of the new year? Those perfectly pristine resolutions, that boundless enthusiasm. It's usually incredibly strong right at the starting line, right? But as the months roll on, that initial burst of direction kind of wears off. If you're experiencing a lack of direction right now, or if you feel like you're just wading through molasses, I really want you to know that you are not alone. And hey, it's absolutely not a failure of willpower. It's actually a very specific psychological phenomena. Section 1. The mid-year slump. This is our baseline problem.
So the mid-year slump, what is it? It's that heavy sluggishness that just totally halts your momentum halfway through the calendar year. And honestly, it happens because your mental engine has basically been redlining nonstop since January. When the start line is a distant memory and the finish line is still months away, that weight you're feeling, it isn't a lack of drive. It's genuine cognitive fatigue. We really have to validate this experience because it's a completely natural part of the annual cycle. But more importantly, it's a hurdle we can definitely overcome once we understand what's actually making it worse beneath the surface.
All right, Section 2, the paradox of choice, a structural roadblock.
Okay, the paradox of choice. This is a psychological friction where having way too many lingering goals, tasks, or priorities creates total paralysis instead of progress. Every single uncompleted New Year's resolution literally becomes a weight on your cognitive load. Think about it like having, 50 tabs open on your web browser. Eventually, the whole system just freezes and crashes. Instead of picking just one priority, the sheer volume of options creates so much friction that it paralyzes you. And what happens? You end up doing nothing at all. Now just look at the stark difference between these two states of mind. With the paradox of choice, your energy is completely scattered. It's pulled in a dozen different directions, which exhausts you before you even try to take action. But a focused mind? That mind channels all of that limited, precious mid-year energy into a single laser beam direction. It's literally the difference between trying to light a fire with a magnifying glass versus just standing out in the hot sun. One concentrates energy to spark massive action, and the other, well, it just makes you sweat. We so often trick ourselves into thinking that having this massive list of goals means we're highly ambitious, right? We think we're super driven, but halfway through the year, that noise is exactly what's keeping you stuck. The sheer volume of choices becomes the enemy of execution. To break out of this slump, we definitely don't need more choices, and we certainly don't need more goals. We need to dismantle the paradox entirely.
Section 3. Mastering radical prioritization. The ultimate cure.
So here we go, radical prioritization. This is the intentional, aggressive act of cutting through the noise to focus solely on what matters most. It is not about making a nice, neat to-do list, not at all. It's about purposeful pruning. Just like a master gardener snips away perfectly good branches so the best ones can actually bear fruit, you have to cut away the good goals to save the great ones. By giving yourself full, absolute permission to let go of the things dragging you down, you shift entirely from paralysis to total empowerment. It's a real game changer. Okay, so how do you actually pull this off? Well, first, cut the noise. You've got to shut out all those distractions. Second, isolate the absolute most vital goals, the core thing that will actually move the needle for you this year. And third, eliminate all the lingering choices. By purposefully leaving the excess undone, you pretty much guarantee your main priority actually gets finished. You're effectively burning the ships, so you have absolutely no choice but to take the island. So, what's the blueprint for all this? Step 1. Acknowledge the slump. Validate that fatigue you're feeling. Step 2, recognize the paradox of choice that's causing your paralysis. And step 3, execute radical prioritization to cut through all that noise. Moving through these 3 precise steps is your clear, undeniable path to true mid-year mastery.
Now, I really want to leave you with this one thought. What single priority will you radically focus on today to achieve your mid-year mastery? The mid-year doesn't have to be a slump. Honestly, it can be the exact moment you finally cut through the noise. Find that one priority, eliminate all the rest, and go master your year. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.